In today's society, body image is a prevalent matter in the realm of public discourse. No matter your ethnicity, gender, or race, you, at one time or another, have been exposed to the ideal body through the media. The media plays an important role in propagating what it sees as this ideal body image. Throughout this documentary, we will explore the media's portrayal of male body image and look at the effects that it has on men today. Our minds tend to drift toward talking about women. Our society seems to be fixated on the idea of an ideal woman, some non-existent tall and slender goddess, so that men feel left by the wayside. For men in today's day and age, body image plays an important role in their lives. However, conversations regarding male body image seem to be less prevalent than conversations about female body image.
Going back to the issue of the double standard between men and women with a psychological issue like eating disorders, what we have found within the last few years is that gap has narrowed. Unfortunately, rather than the number of women being reduced, the number of cases with men with eating disorders has increased. So the difference between the genders has narrowed, but unfortunately narrowed in the wrong direction.
That being said, what is the male body image? Whether it be an action hero from a movie or an athlete on the cover of a magazine, the male body image is set in stone. Men are to be strong, tall, athletic, muscular, and the dominant figures in the room, who are to show no emotion and to keep their feelings and desires to themselves.
Get down now!
Get down! I have a fear of heights! Why would you come up here? You called me a pussy!
The key emphasis for men is strength, whether it be physical or emotional. As stated in a recent male body image study, just as women are vulnerable to the culture of thinness that permeates Western society, males are subjected to a culture of muscularity.
Aging, I think it is more advantageous for men on media in that men can age a little bit more gracefully, so to speak, than women. Within the last few years, I think there have been some issues with men trying to, as with women, but even with men to try to achieve some type of ideal that may not be possible, but is portrayed in the media, videos, television, and so forth. And I think particularly in some cases that can not only lead to psychological issues, feelings of inferiority, feelings like I can't meet up to a standard.
The problem for men, on the most basic level, is that they are incapable of having this ideal body. Men are, on a physical or emotional level, incapable or unwilling to live up to this archetype. As plainly stated in a Seed magazine article, people see the same images over and over and start to believe it's a version of reality. In a study by Grogan, he found that there are associations between body image and a number of psychological factors, including self-esteem, internalization of the thin muscular ideal, social comparison with idealized models, gender roles, self-surveillance, body size stereotyping, and social identity. At the end of the day, men who are unable or unwilling to submit themselves to the ideal body type which they find to be true, thanks to the media, are faced with suffering the consequences, whether they be social or psychological.
No emotions, just sex.
So I guess we should just start.
Bedroom.
What's wrong with the couch?
The bedroom has better light. And since we're just friends, I don't have to be insecure about my body.
Come on, you're beautiful. You have nothing to be insecure.
That sounds emotionally supportive. Lock that down.
There is one primary theory that deals with issues of male body image, called the Gender Role Conflict and Development Theory, or GRC for short. This theory states that men may experience a loss of psychological well-being when trying to achieve the traditional masculine goals. In addition, the maladaptive psychological effects may be due in part to the restrictive nature of traditional gender roles to which men attempt to adhere, as well as to the psychological strain felt when there is a failure to achieve these masculine role ideals. The effects of pressure on men to be more muscular have been highlighted by past research. Approximately 60% of normal weight adolescent men consider themselves to be underweight and would like to gain more muscle. In addition, 20% of college men surveyed displayed eating attitudes and behaviors characteristic of disordered eating. A study by Aglika Tanif-Dunn found that men exposed to ideal male images on TV advertisements reported higher levels of muscle dissatisfaction and depression compared to men who viewed non-appearance-related advertisements. In addition, high levels of gender role conflict have been associated with depression, lack of help-seeking behaviors, relationship dissatisfaction, decreased psychological well-being, and alcohol use. Although it is difficult to directly link media exposure to problematic behaviors such as eating disorders, overexercise, and steroid use, studies such as this one are at least beginning to shed light on the subtle psychological changes that occur as men compare themselves to an ever-changing standard. As many may know, in today's popular media, as discussed before, there is one male archetype. However, in certain films, that archetype undergoes an evolution, thereby confusing many men. Take as a matter of example any of the James Bond movies. Within the context of the movies themselves, they all portray James Bond, the dominant male protagonist, as a man who is stoic, strong, and wildly attractive. In addition, he shows little emotion, kills people without so much as an afterthought, and uses women as disposable objects for his personal pleasure. Contrast that with what you may find in a romantic comedy. In those types of films, the man is still a tall and strong man, however, with a sensitive side. In those types of movies, the man cares deeply for a woman, expresses his feelings, and more likely than not falls in love with the woman. As one can see, these two depictions are polar opposites with regards to a man and his emotions. In one movie, he shows no emotion and is ruthless, whereas in the other, he pours his very heart and soul out on screen. The question that men in the audience are left with is, what is the correct male image?